This video is about practicing an exertional exhale, or sometimes I will call it candle blowing, where we're going to be trying to get our inner transverse abdominis muscle to fire all on its own, as well as the pelvic floor coming in or up and in with the exhale. So before you work on this, you need to kind of master that three-dimensional rib breathing and then the pelvic floor movement with your breath, that piston breathing. So once you have the hang of that, you can start to practice breathing with exertion, which you're going to take into exercise. So I want you to just bring your feet a little further down and try to find a neutral pelvis where these hip points here and the pubic bone here are in a horizontal plane. So you might need to tilt your pelvis down just a little so there's a little curve to your back here. And then find that nice three-dimensional inhale through the ribs. And feeling that pelvic floor opening and lowering, sit bones widening with every inhale. So make sure that's happening. And then what I want you to start doing is blowing out through your mouth as if you were blowing out candles slowly. And what I want you to see is, does your pelvic floor come up with that exhale? And you can practice just letting that happen on its own, or if you want to think of adding a little bit of extra lift. So you think about an up arrow going just up from the bottom of the pelvis, kind of where the vaginal opening is, and going straight up through the body, or thinking of an elevator lifting slightly. And it's not a lot. You don't need a lot of effort, maybe 20% effort. So feeling that inhale, pelvic floor opens and lowers. Exhale, pelvic floor lifts. And it's an up arrow. You can play with the candle blowing, or if you want to do a hissing sound or see which one you like the best, what works the best to trigger that in your body. And keep that going. And next I'd like you to just see what's happening with your inner abdominal muscles, your TA or transverse. So you can take your fingers and let them sink in just inside these hip bones. Let them sink deep inside. And as you blow out or hiss and you feel that up arrow happening, see if you feel a light tensioning deep under your fingers. That's the TA coming in all on its own, and that's that natural support that we want. Now, if you feel this, where it bulges out, the muscles bulge out into your fingers, that's not what we want happening. It should be just a gentle inward compression. It happens by itself. So just let that happen. Don't try to force it. Instead, you're thinking about what your breathing is doing, and you're thinking about that up arrow. You want to train this. You can do it like this. You could do it on your side. That's a great place to train this exertional exhale. And eventually, you're going to want to use this with activity of the idea of blow before you go, or exhale with exertion, are two different cues that you can start to think about. So just maybe spend, 5 minutes or so a day just practicing that and feeling that in your body.